right, so I kind of wanted to keep my Elliott waves because they were probably okay. I'll get rid of the rest because we're looking at, there's a higher time frame. That's the all-time high, isn't it? Rename and keep that and get rid of this shit. Health advice, yeah, that would be good. I need to build my channel, so I'm definitely not it's definitely slow with crypto, you know, because it's such a, like, look what I'm doing. I'm like, this is crazy shit. Like when I meet people in the streets, tell them I have a YouTube channel, I'm building it, and they ask me what it is, and I say this date. They're like, what the hell? They're like so not interested. It's crazy. And you have to be really interested in charting. And no, I mean, why would anyone be interested in this? It's not, you have to be really, really obsessed. Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of need a new channel. I'm feeling like when I go to El Salvador, I'm going to talk about El Salvador in my TRVL section, but when I go to El Salvador, I'm probably going to start like a El Salvador tourism channel, or like a expats in El Salvador channel or something like that. Yeah. So it's a bit more mainstream and attract some women as well. Like it's all men, isn't it? It's all like us depressing men sitting in our bedrooms hoping to become rich. All right, let's just kind of go into Doge now. Let me just start. So this is my Elliott Wave theory from when I did this, when I first looked at this. You got this kind of crazy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still think we're in the 5. So we're in the macro 5, I think. And this is the question. So we're in the macro 5, which is this red 5. Ultimately, that macro 5 is a macro 1, because potentially, if that makes any sense. And then you're looking for a corrective move like an ABC zigzag, probably just to come all the way down to take these lows again, probably, or the golden pocket, whatever, in a bear market for a crazy run, which would be a mass adoption crypto event, which would be your higher time frame 3. This is my thoughts on Doge at the moment on a higher time frame. I could be wrong. Yeah, there's always a chance that you're wrong, simply because this 1, and then you have a 2, and then this 3 could be a 1. Yeah, and this is what you have to understand about Elliott Wave theory. You have a crazy 1, then you have a 2, and then this could be the 1 of the 3, that could be the 2 of the 3. We could be in the 3 of the 3 now, for a 4 of a 3, for a 5 of the 3, and then this whole thing is your 3. Yeah, just because the 1 is usually an impulsive crazy 1, and then oftentimes I find that the 3 is a much more prolonged, structured one ABC, like 1 2 3 4 5, then ABC 1 2 3 5. It's more structured, whereas the 1 and the 5s are usually just kind of whatever. It's like fast. Yeah, and the 5 is usually the worst one, because people expect it to go higher, but it never does, and then it traps a lot of people, which causes the bear market to come in. So I do have that in mind, that it is possible that even though I've just marked this out as 1 2 3 4 5, just kind of, why not, that this first one here could be the 1. And so you just never know really with Elliott waves until it happens. That could be a 1. This could be the 2. We could be in a 3 now, for a 4, for a 5, like that, just like that, to complete the 1 like that. Sorry, not to complete the 1, that 1 2. Yes, and you just ignore that red, and then the red 3 is, it's like that. Yeah, and then you have the 1 is like a more higher time frame 1. It changes things a lot if actually that's what we're experiencing. Yeah, and like I said, you just don't know. You just don't know until it happens. Okay, And so it's all kind of like trying to guess the future without really knowing how it's going to play out. But just keep it simple with Elliott waves. Just this to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Okay, because you can see that there's clearly one wave. There's your second wave. But possibly that's what I'm saying. That could be the first wave of the next 3. And I really should map that out because it's a possibility. Yeah, and I've seen it before. And so that's why I should. But I mean, it's going to take too long, so I don't really want to do that. So let's just kind of ignore that now and hide it. And let's just focus on this market, on the bear market low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correction. Correction. Okay, yeah, so this is incorrect. I'll tell you why it's incorrect. It's obviously incorrect because of the rules. The rules are really important too, so you have to bear that in mind. The Elliott wave rules have to follow, and so you can clearly see that the rules are broken in the way I've drawn it here. Why? Because you've got this first wave here all the way up to there, and then if this is the 4, it cannot come underneath the top of the 1 here. And it has. Do you see that? It has. So that's broken this idea of this being the 3. Now, what does that mean? It means it could be the 3 still, but it could be the 1 of the 3. It changes things a little bit. So we're still in the 3. Okay, and that was just the 1 of the 3. So you kind of have to see it slightly differently when you're doing Elliott waves. Even though it looks like it's broken, it may not be broken because that's a completed first wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like it because the rules aren't broken. Oops. And actually where it ended, it probably ended here. That's why it's a bit lower. So the rules aren't broken there. The 4 doesn't come underneath the 1. The 3 is not the shortest, and the zeros are not invalidated. Yeah, so you have the correct formulation of this first wave. Yeah, the 3 can't be the shortest and the 4 can't come underneath the 1. Now, where does the 1 end? It's always the 5th wave of the original 5 waves. It's always the 5th wave. That's where the 1 ends, not the highest point. It's always where the fifth wave ends, which is the last impulse ends. And so when you look at this, it does look, just on a slightly higher time frame, it looks correct because the price doesn't come underneath where I potentially think the 5th ended. And there you see it finds support very nicely before you have this expansive move, which is probably the 5th wave. And as long as the 3 is not the shortest, then that's a correct formation to complete the first wave. Okay, then you have a corrective move. Now the question here is, where does this end? Does it end there or does it end here? And these are all questions. So I don't really know. I just usually initially I just kind of chuck out the points and then I revise it rather than just wasting time and trying to figure it out. You then come back and you figure it out. So it's just trying to get a picture of what's happening for us, and then you going back and you fine tune the levels. And the way you fine tune the levels is using fibs, using fib extensions and fib retracements. That's really the way. And also counting. You have to count the corrective moves. You have to count the impulsive moves. And so corrective moves have 3 waves, ABC or WXY, usually, not always, but usually, or there's a combination of those. And then the impulsive waves always have 5 waves. And then if you go to the Discord channel, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post it right now. I'm just going to post the link here if I can. Let me open Discord. You can go onto, oh, why is it not opening? Did I try and open Discord? It's vanished. Try again. Where are you, Discord? There you are. You go to the Discord, and the link is below in this video, and you go everything you could ever know. And Altcoin Dreaming posted all of this. There's an Elliott Wave cheat sheet here, and I'm just going to post the link here anyway to the group. You can see that. See that? So there's the link. Oops, you can't see it because I'm there. There it is. And so that's the Elliott Wave cheat sheet. There's the link there. So if you're interested in the Elliott Waves, you can just kind of have a look at this. The ABCs are not always ABCs. Sometimes you get these extra waves. And sometimes you get 5 waves, you know, 5 waves, 3 waves, you know, like it's not straightforward. Oh, look, this is the XX. See, look, WX, Y, XX, Z, etc. Then you, so yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of shit to learn, but a lot of it is on the generally speaking, it's just 5 waves and 3 waves, generally speaking. So you don't really need to go crazy when you're trying to do this. Just stay simple. So yeah, so I think that's probably the first wave. And then this is the question. You have a corrective wave coming down to wherever. Here, let's just say here, it's not the lowest point. Usually the impulse starts from the lowest point, usually, yeah. But then you have to see the 5 waves and the rules have to apply. Yeah, you have to count. You can't just assume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't look like it to me. It looks like an ABC corrective rather than an impulsive move. So that's the thing. Sometimes you get corrective moves which are impulsive, but they're failed impulsive moves. The actual impulsive move begins on the next pullback into the golden pocket usually, and so it's a tricky one, and that's why you count, because when you count, it gives you confirmation, and then you do fib pulls to confirm. So maybe that's the wave 1, and you have a correction, you have a wave 3 correction, and you have a wave 5. So that's probably that. And then this is this one. Hold on. 1, 2 ABC 1, 2. Let's have a look at this one. Fuck. Why does it keep on disappearing? 1 ABC. It's a tricky one. I don't really know where it starts. Probably there. I'm just guessing at the moment, and it's good to guess when you start, otherwise you just waste a lot of time. You can clearly see there's an impulsive move there. So the question is, does that end your 3? And actually now I'm thinking probably not. Probably that was just the wave 1 of the 3. I'm just making this up actually at the moment. I'm not sure. And I'm just assuming that this whole thing's a 5. It may not be. Okay. It may be we're still in the 3 of the 3. Okay. So there's lots of caveats when you're doing Elliott waves. Too many actually. That's why a lot of people don't do them, because there's lots of variables. And let's just see this. We're counting corrections. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, 2, 3, 5. It's not easy, is it? One, two, three, four. Maybe you had the first impulse there, to be honest with you. 2, 3, 4. We'll know if we get a correct back test at the top of that one, like this. We'll know. To complete the 3. And then you get the 4 can't come on. Now the 4 can't come underneath 20, where this high is. to complete the 5, and that will complete the last wave there, wherever this 5 ends. Okay, so there's lots of questions. Okay, but based on this idea, that was your wave 1. We had a 2 corrective. We finished the 1. We haven't invalidated the start point, and now we're looking to form this 3, which will take us to all-time highs. Really, that's what should happen next. Okay, I just wanted to see what should happen next. Hit the 786. Let's just see this. Golden pocket, deep correction now. 786. Let's see what the expansive move is. 1-to-1. Okay. So yeah, so the 618 is 36, slightly over 36.5 cents. I think that's probably going to be your first. Yeah, and then the 1-to-1 is shy of the all-time high. That's your target for a 4, maybe a 5 like that to take us to all-time highs. I think probably like that for a 4 and a 5, all-time high, all-time high. Is Doge going to pump above all-time highs? I doubt it. I'm not really expecting that, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people have been trapped for such a long time that really it's going to be a nice untrapping of liquidity exercise. That's what I think. Yeah, I don't think we're going to pump to the moon. I think before, you know, like people got trapped because of Elon Musk, and now they're just looking to just exit. Retail will just come in to exit. That's really where I'm at, and wherever the 5 lands, and then you could get a real nice pullback, just a back test here for one last push, which would be your exit. I really think right now the target for a 1-to-1 is shy of the all-time high at 70 cents. To complete this wave 3, or if that was the 1, and then you got another pullback and you finish with your 5. Now the 5 could go higher. It all depends on this correction, because if you have if you have a really strong flat correction above the previous all-time high, then you could go high. You could really push up to $2. Yeah, and that would be your ultimate target, would be $2 based on what I'm seeing right now. Yeah, but no one can really make that happen. Or like, I think if people are long-term holding and the price of Doge suddenly got to $2, they would sell. So that's why that becomes a target. But you'd have to breach $1 first. That's a psychological level. So I think that's high. I think this is like, if this 3 overshoots, then $1 is your psychological target. But then you'd want to see the price of Doge find support on the previous all-time high before contemplating a bigger push to $2. Yeah, but realistically, I think all-time high is your target on the end of the 3, not the 5, for a pullback, something like that, and then probably that, something like this to that. Probably I'm being a little bit more conservative. It's good, it's better to be conservative, because at least then you hit your targets, and you don't have to stress. And then you're in the bear market, aren't you? You're in a bit of a bear market, and I think the bear market is going to be a prolonged bear market in the context of Dogecoin, probably all the way back down to the bottom, probably wherever you put in your high pivot, probably a corrective move just to fill in the volume here, and it will just to kind of add volume, just to kind of, we'll be in the same area basically. If we don't get a breakout, which I think it's unlikely, then we're just going to be range bound here on a higher time frame, but we've still completed our impulsive move on the last wave. If this is a 1 2 3 4 5, just like this, which I'm thinking it could be the yellow 1 2 3 4 5. That's what I'm looking at right now. All right, so that's just kind of like a guess. It's a really crazy shot in the dark guess. I'm assuming that was a wave 1 of 3, and then we're in the wave 3 of 3 right now. We've completed our first wave, and this is the beginning of the next wave, the next 3. All right, I'm just making assumptions now. I have no idea. It's just assumptions at the moment. Let me chuck all this into an EW folder. You can hide it now. Actually, what I really want to do, rather than hiding it, is do a few fibs. Fibs help. That was there, yeah. So we've got that fib. Let me see if the fibs line up with anything. I'm just going to put those back out. And so there's many ways you can do fibs here. There's so many pivot points to use to do fibs, which is nice. And I'm going to use this one to there. Oh, look at that. The 1-to-1 here and the 618 line up perfectly. So you have really, really, really strong confluence right now at somewhere at 37 cents, basically. Look at that. It lines up really nicely. Just this fib here, there to there to there. It lines up to there. That's a 1-to-1 on that move. And then just here, from here to there, that's a 618. So you have really nice confluence on the way the price has moved in the wave format. And you've got pretty strong confluence here at 37 cents. So that's my first target. And then obviously, depending on the extension of the move, I think possibly after that you're going up to all-time highs, and I would aim for 70 cents. I wouldn't even aim for the all-time high, because it's possible you put in a lower high. Very possible you don't take out the all-time high, you put in a lower high, yeah, at 70 cents. So my two targets are not the all-time high. My target is 37 cents, 36.5, 37 cents, and 70 cents. That's what I'm looking at right now, just based on this basic fib analysis. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of draw out the levels, etc. Let me just mark that as all-time high. I prefer red, to be honest with you, white, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go to white. And then I'm going to do volume quickly. Just have a look at the volume. I'm going to do it on this range. I'm looking at Binance, aren't I? That doesn't give us any information, because you can clearly see the volume is below us, and we're kind of breaking out of the value area. Look, we had a really nice back test of the value area high here. This is nice, sir. This is kind of what you'll see. It's nice enough because it's a continuation of the move, but it's not like it's not like that, which would be nice too. Okay, so what am I saying? I'm saying it's okay. It's okay. It's not too bad. Shall I mark them? I probably won't right now, because I just don't want to waste time. Let me go to slightly higher time frame. There's no volume up there, so I think those targets are really easy to reach. Let's have a look at this previous volume in the highs, all the way to where it dropped. 28. I said 36, didn't I? 36 will be taking out these highs here into the value area high. That's your sell zone, those pivots. I honestly think that that's your target. We've hit it once. Let's have a look at it here. Let's have a look at the volume here. $39, $32. Yeah, you could push up to 40 because we've hit it once, so you've cleared the liquidity, a little bit of trap liquidity. But because of the fibs, I'm thinking 36. That's your target, and then the 70 cents is your next target, just to put a lower high here. And it's all speculative, isn't it? It's not financial advice. No one really knows. Look at this fibs. So we're coming into the golden pocket again. This is okay, that's okay. We just need to get above it and maybe 40, maybe somewhere between 35 and 40. Find support for a push up. That's kind of what you want to see next on Doge, for a push up to 70. Yeah, that's what's on my mind right now without kind of going crazy into this. I think probably back at 40. So this is a range here, so somewhere between 36 and 40. That's what I'm thinking, 37 and 40 cents. And you know, Doge is like crazy, it could just pump. Yeah, and what you want to see now is volume as well as the price goes up. So probably something like this is what I'm thinking. And that could be just an ABC correction, back test the golden pocket there for a push up to 70, which would be my target. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not going to go into any more depth. Okay, that's really what's on my mind right now. Okay, and it's just based on it. And obviously this last bit, it could quite easily take out the high to drop, you know, like, so the all-time high could be taken out for a fake out. That would be the last wave here. Timings I don't know, but you could end up, yeah, exactly. So it could be something like this, da 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 da, just to take out the all-time high. This is conservatively, I'm conservatively thinking like this, and then you're in a bear market. Okay, and let me just have a look at the timings in any case. Okay, see if I can work out some timings based on Elliott waves, again using my fib time tool. Oh, that doesn't help. No help. There we go to the weekly chart. Maybe a bit easier. Let me hide these fixed ranges now. Keep that. Push. Create the group. Idea. Nice. So look, 1 to 1. Look at that pivot. Look at that. Bam, bam, and it gave us a 1 to 1 pivot there. Look at that. That's a 1 to 1 on that pivot. This kind of hit the 618 as well. It's quite nice. That was quite nice. These pivots. This end of December. Look, end of December. I like that. Yeah, top out here on the end of December. And yeah, you kind of want to top out here at the end of August as well. On your 1 to 1 here. Yeah, end of December. Oh, end of August, end of December. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So you peak at end of, so maybe if we can hit 40 cents. Yeah. Let's see how far we pump here. I would say 37 to 40 cents is a real target, just based on the Elliott waves, right? And then if we can, like I said, if we can back test this golden pocket, find support, then maybe we can pump to hit the higher target here at 70. Then for another pullback, and then maybe we can have a last push here. Maybe we are going to have a very similar alt season to 4 years ago, or the first part of next year. Maybe